now to a recording that a bus driver had shared. He was on the road one early morning, shortly before starting his shift. Claudio, the driver, states that he noticed the bus bell ringing, indicating entering passengers, which should have been impossible as he wasn't picking up passengers yet. When looking into the rear mirror, he noticed a strange sight.
Vale, nada. No, la tengo grabada, la concha de la lora la tengo grabada. Encima no hacía una mierda, boludo. Pero lo tengo grabado. Lo tengo grabado, boludo. Yo no sé ustedes, pero acá grabando veo a alguien sentado allá de fondo. Pero miro para atrás y no hay nadie. Foto. Mirá. La piel de gallina, No me va a querer asustar acá, ¿no? ¿Eh? La concha de tu madre. No sea malo. No sea malo, no sea mala. No sé, pero... No podés. No. Esto es algo único, loco. Posta que tengo un recagazo. Y de acá, del celular yo veo como a alguien, pero del espejo no veo a nadie,
There seems to be a black shadow sitting in one of the seats of the back row. As mentioned before, Claudio was alone at the time and had not picked up any passengers yet, which makes him believe that perhaps it had been a passenger from the afterlife visiting him that morning and taking a ride with him. What a creepy thought. Now we travel to El Salvador, specifically to a cemetery, the place where Henry Urbex was doing a live broadcast for his TikTok channel. It was the early morning hours. Henry was moving forward with his flashlight between graves and deteriorated structures, when suddenly his camera captured a sequence so strange that even he froze in place.
Dios mío, Señor Jesucristo. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder y me protege de todo mal. Huevo, raza. Esto está feo. Allá está parada todavía, ¿ve? Y me está viendo en dos patas, ¿ve? Allá está, ¿ve? Y me sigue viendo, raza. Raza, me sigue viendo en dos patas. No mames. Allá está, ¿ve? Miren, ¿ve? Miren, ¿ve? En dos patas, ¿ve? Como que está bailando, ¿ve? Ese es un demonio, raza. No mames, ese es un demonio. Oh, la bestia. Grábenlo. Vean, raza. Mírenlo, raza. Dios. Miren. Miren cómo baila. Vean. Dios. Miren, raza, está parada en dos patas, ¿ve? Vean. Miren cómo le hace, ¿ve? Dios. Miren. A la madre, miren, raza. No mames. Ay, este calofrío me dio, güey. Ay, Dios mío. Ya se bajó. Miren, se bajó. Miren. Se bajó, miren. Miren, se bajó, miren. Dios, raza. Dios. Miren. Ya no está parada, miren. Miren la mierda. Miren la raza, Dios.
What you saw is not only disturbing, but also real. The presence of a white goat in an environment as creepy and dark as an abandoned cemetery is pretty eerie, to say the least. Just look at what this goat is doing. The creature appears standing on two legs, completely upright, and then, according to Henry's description, it takes a couple of steps, as if trying to dance. Take a good look. Seconds later, it falls back onto its four legs, as if nothing had happened. It's true that some goats can stand on two legs to reach food or high branches. But here, that argument falls apart completely. The goat is next to the edge of a small pond, in an open space with no trees, no bushes, nothing to justify that posture. And even less so, such strange movement. Additionally, let's remember that all this happened live at the time, without any cut or editing. There was no time to prepare a prank or a visual trick. What we saw is what occurred in that moment. And precisely because of this recording has generated so much unease among those who witnessed it. What do you think? Are we looking at simple animal behavior? Was there something more in that cemetery? As always, you be the judge. The man in the following video states that ever since moving into a new place, paranormal activity started unfolding that startled him and his family really badly. It got so frequent that he even started recording it now.
If anybody's here, I'm calling cops. No!
Apparently, the scary activity is still going on, and the man has no idea how to get rid of this evil.
No! No!
Now we look at a man who lives by himself with his cat Loki and has been picking up pretty odd sounds for quite some time. He owns an antique African mask that he purchased at a yard sale, together with a different mask that he later resold. He's owned this mask for roughly 12 months now, but he's only displayed it within his residence for recent months. However, lately, the strange occurrences in his house have been intensifying. On the 18th of November, he records a video to display the mask closely, when something disturbing gets captured.
A few people wanted to see the mask up close, so here it is. It's big chin. Yeah, you can see inside. It's all, you can see where it's been carved out with a tool. Just about to see the markings there, the chisel. And it has a really weird smell to it. Kind of like a burnt kind of wood, musty wood smell. But I've no idea how old it is. Not a clue. I'm not going to say super old, but you know, I think it's got a bit of age to it. Could be wrong. If anyone's got any opinions on this after they've seen it up close, what kind of mask it is, how old it might be, no expert, but what the Well, that's not freaky, is it? Jesus Christ.
For sake. I'm tripping over stuff now. Hello? Hello? Oh, fucking hell. Everyone's been saying, why have you got the lights off all the time? The landing light does not work, right? There's no bulb in this light. Because usually I ain't fucking shit scared of going upstairs. But I'm doing this because I just want to try and prove to you all there's nobody in the fucking house but me and whatever the fuck this is. With me. Oh! Oh my god! Oh, you... Hell. There was a figure in the window. There was a f***ing silhouette in the window.
Strange sounds can be picked up coming from throughout the residence, then something from the upper floor, and then, when he investigates, what appears to be a shadowy shape can be spotted through the glass, which makes him sprint back to the lower floor. He then chooses to install a surveillance camera watching the front room, and soon after, it records the following. An item in one of the storage units shifts by itself. Then the image of a shadow can be spotted moving through the edge of the photo frame. The following evening, he picks up an unusual noise coming from the lower floor, so he grabs his phone to film it, and this is what he recorded.
Hello? I did not leave that light on. Stuff on the floor. Whoa! Fuck!
Hearing continuous tapping noises from below, he decides to investigate, only to discover total chaos. As he dashes back to the upper floor, something is picked up rapidly, racing up behind him. The strange occurrences keep intensifying and happening more often. and he's currently debating whether he should dispose of the mask or not. But until that happens, things might persist.
Hello?
Alexis works the overnight shift at a movie theater in Mexicali, Mexico. At 3 in the morning, the building should be totally empty except for the cleaning crew, but everyone who works there knows the truth. Once the final screening ends and the doors lock, the theater belongs to something else. Staff members have reported hearing a woman crying in the empty screening rooms and witnessing apparitions roaming the hallways. Most employees refuse to work by themselves after midnight, but Alexis needs the extra cash, so he volunteers for the night shift. That particular evening, he decides to live stream his cleaning routine to prove the ghost stories aren't real, but what he would capture would leave him absolutely terrified.
Se apaga la luz, pero a la madre. Oye, no se escuchan gritos. A la bestia. Güey, ¿qué pedo? Ya me voy. Ya se prendió, mira, ya me voy. Verga. Qué pinche miedo. Si estoy solo. Yo salí del baño y andaba para allá. Y allá es donde se me iba esa cosa. Vete a la... ¿Se escuchan? La puerta. Ah, no va a pasar. Me volvieron a apagar la luz. No, ya me voy. Ya me voy. Ya me voy. Pero lo que querían saber era ya. Ya me voy. A ver.
While streaming live in the lower level corridor, all the building lights suddenly cut out. When the dim emergency lights finally come on, the unmistakable sound of a woman weeping begins echoing through the empty corridors. Alexis moves cautiously down the hallway as the crying grows louder. Then, as he aimed the camera toward the hallway pillars, you can see a figure peeking out, staring directly at him. According to theater records, a woman died in this building in 1987. Her body was discovered in the ground floor hallway, exactly where Alexis recorded this footage. The next day, Alexis decided to quit and never return to that theater. The next recording comes from a woman who owns a farm near the mysterious Appalachian Mountains in the United States. A place where, according to many locals, things happen that simply have no explanation. The woman had gone out at night to her barn to care for a small calf. It was a quiet place, a peaceful prelude to what she would describe as the most chilling experience of her entire life.
Hey Dad, she is fed and feisty. What are you doing, baby? Okay, so I fed her. I will feed the barn. Okay.
As she turns the camera, the woman records the presence of another person, just meters away from her, but not just any person. As incredible as it seems, the woman that she captured, with her back turned towards her, was not only dressed exactly the same. She had the same hair, same build, and even the same body posture. It was a different version of herself that stood completely motionless, as if it were there without reason and without life. A perfect copy, as if trapped in another state of consciousness. The woman was so scared that she fled the scene immediately. Many users who saw this recording believe it's just a skit, but a huge number of people mentioned a scary theory. All this happened near the Appalachian Mountains, a site famous for ancient stories and strange entities, and even encounters that defy any logical explanation. Could it have something to do with it? Now to a really disturbing case. It was shared by Monica, a woman who minutes before leaving work at the offices of a daycare center started hearing what sounded like someone running through the hallways, and then the sound of a bell in the distance. A chill ran through her entire body, and it's there where she decided to start documenting what was happening. She never imagined encountering something like this.
I'm at work. I'm the only person here. And I her. Oh my god, I'm scared. The scary movie says you don't go see what's going on. But what the I'm gonna lose my goddamn shit. Okay, I'm gonna die.
That was more than disturbing. That bell sound was really coming from that toy. But to produce that sound, whatever it was, had to physically take the toy and activate it. However, there was nobody in the facilities. But the story didn't end here. A couple of days later, a new event happened that would freak Monica out even more. Take a look.
I'm not scared. I'm over it, actually. I'm super irritated. I'm hearing shit. I hear whispering and humming. I'm about to go over there. Ugh. I'm not scared. But just super irritated. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, God. I'm not scared. Okay. How do I turn the camera around? Okay. I fumbled on the phone. I'm not scared. I heard humming. I'm gonna open that fucking closet again. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Nothing can hurt me. There it is. Nothing. I don't know what the heck. I had the security guard leave the light on for me in this room.
This time, a disturbing voice could be heard. It seemed like a small child singing or playing.
Oh, God.
However, it's well known that manifestations like to mimic little children, and that these things oftentimes are caused by imposter spirits. It's their way of accessing and opening a gap between their plane and our world. And most disturbing of all, everything seems to indicate that this spirit wanted to get Monica's attention, as if seeking to communicate with her, or attract her in some way. Could it simply be the residual echo of an old event in the building, or a conscious entity that somehow understood it was being observed? It's hard to explain, of course. Some say that something evil must be lingering in this workplace. What do you believe? Now it's time to take a look at the case of Dustin again. We have looked at him before, and he is known to work in a haunted diner. Apparently, after having visited the local cemetery, Dustin suspects that something attached itself to him. It follows him wherever he goes, and likes to manifest when he's completely alone. This time he was at the diner. It was nighttime, and he was about to close the business. There was nobody else there. Suddenly he starts hearing what sounds like someone inside. At that instant, he decided to do a brief walkthrough of the place, recording absolutely everything. He never imagined he would record something that would give him such goosebumps.
Hello? Hello? Like, it was closed today, so...
Did it stay open? Whatever.
Did you see it? It was in a couple of moments when Dustin was in front of the reception area. A horrible silhouette manifested, which many describe as if it were a person who is no longer among us, with greyish skin and a disfigured face. And this confirmed for him that it could indeed be an entity that could have followed him since his visit to that cemetery. There were others who pointed out it could have simply been a Halloween decoration. It should be noted that during the walkthrough, when he captures that area again, the silhouette is no longer seen. Additionally, Dustin has indicated that the business doesn't have any decorations like that. Also, during the walkthrough, whispers began to be heard. There's a good chance something is attempting to reach out to Dustin, and whatever it wants doesn't seem friendly. What you're about to see was recorded by a carpenter hired to do some remodeling in a house that seemed ordinary at first. As days went by, the place turned into the setting for a string of strange events that were hard to explain. On different occasions, while working completely alone, he began hearing noises from other rooms, footsteps that felt like they were following him, and knocks that repeated for no clear reason. At first he thought it was his imagination or the natural creaking of the wood. Soon he realized something else seemed to be trying to get his attention. He started filming every odd incident with his phone.
But, yeah. Whoa, what the hell? This is what I'm talking about. You guys heard that? Yo, I just heard footsteps behind me. If there's anybody here, just, I'm here to work. Like I said, whoa. I don't want to go up there. I do not.
The carpenter was alone in the house, and it was practically impossible for a stranger to have come in without him noticing. But it did not end there. He decided to check the basement, since he said that days earlier he had heard strange sounds coming from down there.
Oh, I seen like an elbow leave this room, but there's nobody else that lives here. This is my client's house. Oh, shit, I swear. Oh my God. Oh, hell. That's what I'm talking about right there. This shaking. There's nobody else in the house with me. I swear. This is where I heard those footsteps at. Oh, what the? Oh, it's coming from here. Oh, there's a little. Oh my goodness. That right there. That right there is always. I'm sorry, you hear me talk right. Doing this job out here, look at. See this job? Doing this right here. And see this job? Doing this right here. Seeing things. You guys see anything or hear anything? This dog looks crazy too. Thing's still shaking, dude. I can't even look at it. Oh, shit. Maybe some of these other are haunted. What the f? Yo, this is moving and this is moving. Why isn't this one moving? I'm used to this shit already. You know what I mean? Like, don't follow me home.
Several hanging lights began to sway on their own, as if pushed by an invisible force. Still, as he kept saying, he was the only person inside. What made it worse was that while he watched one of the lamps swinging strangely, a sound seemed to come from the closet. Something that stood out was a porcelain doll sitting there, almost like it was behind what was happening. Some people warned him to be careful, especially because this kind of activity is said to be tied to entities that try to attach themselves to people. From that night on, something changed for him. He began hearing the same knocks, but now in his own home. He said that when he closed his eyes, he could feel the same presence behind him, watching in silence. Later, he deleted all his clips and disappeared from social media. He left only a single line on his last video, which says, "It was not the house, it was me they were after." A man headed out to camp by himself in the Appalachian Mountains. At first, he enjoyed pitching his tent and the quiet of the woods, but that calm vanished when he noticed something off in the darkness.
Astaghfirullah. Apaan tuh?
From the edge of his vision, he caught a flicker of a dark shape moving along the tree line. He tried to ignore it, yet his heartbeat climbed as doubt crept in. What could it have been? In this video, we have two friends that were driving home in a pickup after being stuck in traffic for more than an hour. A motorcycle crash had closed the road ahead, and they had been waiting for crews to clear everything so cars could move again. Once they finally rolled forward, they felt relieved and decided to record themselves singing along to the music to lift the mood. But while the phone kept filming, something strange formed in the background. Here is what their camera picked up. As they sing and goof around without noticing a thing, what looks like a pale face suddenly shows up in the rear window of the truck. The face seems to hang in the air, with nobody connected to it anywhere. It lingers behind them, as if it is just watching in silence. The white disembodied face stays there for several seconds before fading out completely, which leaves both friends shaken and terrified. Later that night, they reviewed the clip, and what they learned made the whole situation even worse. They realized something truly awful. Someone had died in the motorcycle accident that caused the long backup they were trapped in. The friends now think the thing that appeared behind them might have been the person who lost their life in that crash. Neither of them noticed anything at the time, which suggests whatever it was only showed up on the recording. Could this be the spirit of the person who passed away only moments earlier? Who can say? Now to a clip from a guy who mentions they had just finished setting up their baby's room on the upper floor of their older home when he picked up a strange sound.
Yeah, it's still here. Bed's in decent shape, I guess. I like those blinds. Too bright in the morning. Might need a new carpet too. Smells a little.
He didn't catch it initially, but all of a sudden, gray smoke started rising from the ground. He mentions he spotted something on the camera lens, but didn't actually see the smoke. Then when he turned the camera around, he filmed this horrifying shape. Once more, he didn't witness this with his own eyes. It was only the camera that caught it. So what might this indicate? Could it be a dark presence in this house? And who could this frightening woman be? How disturbing. This video by Ghost Tech Paranormal takes place in an old abandoned rectory school, which has a history dating back to the 1800s. It all began in 1805 when lessons were held in the ancient St. Peter's Church, which has been around since the 6th century. Over time, as more kids wanted to attend, they built a new school with a rectory behind the church. The school served the village and nearby areas faithfully until it closed its doors in 2012. But there are many rumors of paranormal activity, especially sightings of shadowy figures that appear to be children.
If you look behind Mark, a figure seems to move from left to right as Mark walks by.
In this clip, investigator Mark is checking out one of the classrooms when suddenly a shadowy figure comes out of the darkness on the right side and stands right in front of him. Take a look at these screenshots from the video where you can see the shadowy figure better. It looks too tall to be a child. Perhaps this is the spirit of a former teacher or a member of the church.